Hello everyone, so welcome to Mexico. I've been here for 2 weeks today, yeah, and this will be my first video. I was intending to record my normal lunation video, half of it on my computer and half of it on my phone, but unfortunately, due to my current surroundings, that's not exactly possible, so I'm just going to record what I can. I do have my decks ready, so definitely there will be card pool as we go deeper into this video. I'm going to name few things that are going on this week prior to this lunation, and there are a few major happenings after the lunation, and then we're going to read it all together, but just bear with me because this is kind of my first video in a long time. I'm kind of out of practice over here. And yeah, before I forget, I will be running my Black Friday sale. It will begin on November 22nd. And also, if I can, I do want to record a video on 22nd of November in honor of 11/11, which I missed out on recording because I had my Sacred Union ceremony on that day. So I am going to try to record 11/11 replacement on 11/22. Which actually adds up to 33, so that's pretty awesome day, so just bear with me. All right, so I'm recording this on Sunday. I probably will release this tomorrow, let's see, but yeah, today moon is still in the sign of Libra, and we have quite packed next 24 hours because we'll have Sun making a trine to Jupiter, Sun making a trine to Saturn, still retrograde at the moment, and also Mercury will be making his second sextile to Pluto because we know Mercury is retrograde at the moment in the sign of Sagittarius for now, and then tomorrow night moon will move into the sign of Scorpio in preparation for the Scorpio New Moon, which will be on a late degree, 28 degree, just like the previous few. We actually have all these late lunations until I think springtime, and interesting fact that I just checked, until Aries season we are going to have Sun and the Moon together at the beginning of each season. So technically we had Moon already in the sign of Scorpio when Sun entered into the sign of Scorpio, and now we have again Moon in a sign of Scorpio second time in the same month in preparation for this new moon. And then we will have Mercury moving back into the sign of Scorpio on Tuesday 18th. So Mercury already was in the sign of Scorpio, I think first time from the 6th of October. Let me just check this. Yeah, Mercury was 6th of October, and then Mercury moved into the sign of Sagittarius 29th of October. Now Mercury is returning back to Scorpio, and then Mercury will return back into the sign of Sagittarius on December 11th, and Mercury will station direct on November 29th in Scorpio. All right, so as of Tuesday, Mercury will be back in Scorpio. Then we will have Venus trine North Node on Wednesday, and Mercury will oppose Uranus on Wednesday. Also, Mercury will trine Neptune. This is, I believe, second opposition and second trine to Uranus and Neptune because of the retrograde. Then what else we've got going on? Mercury will conjunct Sun on Thursday the 20th. Last time Mercury conjuncted Sun in Virgo, and that was on September 13th. Then we'll have also on Thursday the 20th, which is actually the day of the new moon, right? So Mercury will conjunct Sun after the new moon, about 3 hours later, and then we'll have on Thursday 20th also Uranus making an exact sextile to Neptune, both retrograde at the moment. Prior to that, moon will move into the sign of Sag, and then on Friday the 21st, Sun will oppose Uranus, which is fully active, perfectly active for the lunation. It will be opposed by Uranus, and Sun will trine Neptune, and we have the grand water trine in the sky for this lunation. And then on Saturday, Sun will move into, technically for me here in Mexico, it will be still Friday, so Friday 21st, Sun will enter into the sign of Sagittarius, but if you are in Europe or in Asia, that will be already Saturday 22nd, and also on the same day, Mercury will make a second trine to Saturn, and then Moon will move into the sign of Capricorn, Mercury retrograde will trine Jupiter, and Sun will sextile Pluto. This is all on Sunday. And then the most important things happening for the final week of November, we'll have Mars squaring lunar nodes. This is of course already active for this lunation. That will be happening on Monday 24. On Tuesday, Venus will conjunct Mercury retrograde. Wednesday, Venus will trine Jupiter and also Saturn. And then we'll have Saturn station direct. This will be for some of us on Thursday 27th, for other one of us on Friday 28th. And Saturn has been retrograde. Let me just check. I wrote it somewhere here. Saturn has been retrograde since 13th of July. Saturn started retrograde still in Aries on 1 degree 56 minutes, and here Saturn will station direct on 27th of November, and then we know Saturn will return back into the sign of Aries on Valentine's Day in 2026, and also will have the conjunction with Neptune exact on February 20th on 0 degree and 45 minutes Aries. So that's all to come next year. So okay, as of 27th of November we will have Saturn direct, and then Mercury will go direct on Saturday the 29th of November, which is the 11/11 day, the other one, the other 11/11 day. Yeah, so Mercury will station direct in Scorpio on 20 degrees and 42 minutes, and Mercury has been retrograde since November 9th. Since November 9, and Mercury started his retrograde on 6 degrees and 51 minutes of Sag, and Mercury will end his retrograde 20 degrees 42 minutes of Scorpio. So this is where it stations. All right, and then Sunday the 30th, which is the final day for the month of November, we'll have the Venus opposition to Uranus, Venus trine to Neptune, and Venus will move into the sign of Sagittarius on Sunday the 30th, and that technically will take us into a new month, into the month of December. Again, I have no idea what I will be recording at the moment. I'm not working under any kind of schedule or plans, trying not to make plans because we are in temporary Airbnb and yeah, doing what I can with the environment that I have going on over here. All right, so as I already mentioned, there are quite a lot of things going on prior to this lunation. So this new moon in Scorpio, which we are experiencing on November 20th here in Mexico, this will be happening right after midnight, 47 minutes after midnight. So depending where you are, wherever you are in the world, that's when it's happening for you. And this is resetting a new moon in Scorpio that actually got seeded on November 1st, 2024, and it was one of the final lunations with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. So it was actually the final new moon with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. At the time, Pluto was already 29 degrees and some change of Capricorn, and then we only had the full moon in Taurus in 2024, which was the final lunation with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. So with the full moon in Scorpio, that one took place on May 12th of this year, 2025. It was already influenced by Uranus because Sun was at the time coming into his exact conjunction with Uranus, and it was on 22 degrees, Uranus on 26 at the time, and that was actually the final lunation with Saturn in Pisces. Saturn was, I believe, on like 28, 29 degrees of Pisces. I don't have the charts. I had the charts ready. I was intending to do this part on my laptop with the charts, but it didn't happen that way. So here I'm just trying to wing it the way I can. So yeah, so these are the main things that I remember. And now we have everything going on in Pisces. I'm looking at the chart here on my phone. So everything is not going on in Pisces, sorry. Everything is going on in water signs because we have the grand water trine, and this is Jupiter is on one side in Cancer, the Cancer rep, and then we have Sun, Moon, Mercury, obviously let's not forget Venus, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and even though Mars is already in Sagittarius, kind of in a melee with them, so all of those are in Scorpio, and then we also have the North Node Saturn and Neptune back in the sign of Pisces. Obviously North Node being there, so North Node actually still is affecting this moon, even though it is not an exact trine, but because of the conjunction with everything else that's going on and the orbs, we still, I would count it personally. So we have North Node technically trine in this lunation. North Node actually is in the exact trine with Venus, so this is all affecting this lunation. So it's all about releasing through stepping into our self-empowerment. How? Because we are obviously being tested with the opposition from Uranus back in Taurus on 29 degrees 29 minutes 29 11. Uranus is retrograde, so everything is accelerating. Obviously Uranus is the ruler of Pluto. Pluto is now direct, so we are going ahead. And Jupiter retrograde as of 11/11. Jupiter will remain retrograde, I believe, until March 10th. Let me just double check that. Yeah, March 10th 2026. So Jupiter will station direct a week after the second eclipse of 2026, which will be on 334. That will be the one in Virgo, the full moon in Virgo, right? Because we have the first eclipse in Aquarius, which will be on February 17th. So Jupiter will be retrograde for another for another while, including the first eclipse season of 2026. All right, so as I already mentioned, we have everything going on in the water signs. Apparently, for Pluto, of course, being in Aquarius, still in opposition with Jupiter, even though it is a white orb, and Jupiter, of course, is retrograde at the moment, but it's still affecting it. So this is again about balancing with Pluto being in Aquarius. So even though it is out of sign balance, out of sign opposition, it's trying to help us balance the sense of authority, because of course Pluto is now post his transit through Capricorn for a year now almost. Well, actually, yeah, technically for a year, because Pluto re-entered Aquarius on, I believe, November 19th. So we've been there for a year now, Pluto in Aquarius non-stop. And in opposition with this Jupiter, which is retrograde, and Jupiter being in the sign of Cancer. And this is all about the expansion of our sense of self and who we becoming. And of course, with the Aquarius, we're going beyond everywhere we've been before. And Uranus now back in the sign of Taurus, retrograde, opposing this new moon in Scorpio, ruled by Pluto traditionally, Pluto, modern astrology, Mars traditionally, and Mars being in the sign of Sagittarius already on 11 degrees, which is the second decan, which is the Aries decan, and 11 degrees is actually Aquarius. So this is all about creating the new story by facing what is no longer supporting our foundation, what is no longer supporting the sense of stability, security. It's no longer nurturing us and allowing us to in a sense thrive. So all of this is coming up to the surface, and I believe has been coming up to the surface because of course we are coming towards the end of Scorpio season, with the sun moving into the sign of Sagittarius next week. So we'll be entering into technically the final mutable sign prior to Pisces, right? Like we have the square, the final square, the closing square to this astrological year, right? So Sagittarius to Pisces, this is the final square, the closing square of this astrological year, which will then reset in Aries season 2026. So the final square is about crisis in consciousness. So what are we releasing before all of these new energies will become present with us again? Of course, now everybody been retrograde in the old signs, Saturn, Neptune, both back in the sign of Pisces, Uranus now back in the sign of Taurus for the final time, potentially in most of our lifetime. Saturn maybe not, but Neptune for sure, Uranus very likely. So we are reevaluating big time, and this is all influencing this Pluto, which is now direct, and Pluto has been very active, especially being on these early degrees of Aquarius. Everything that enters new sign is normally doing some kind of aspects, making some kind of aspects to Pluto. And also, as I mentioned, Pluto is in opposition with this Jupiter, which is connected to every single lunation we are experiencing, and this will be the case until the end of June next year. So all these lunations, full moons and new moons are impacting this sense of growth and need for expansion that we are experiencing individually and collectively. And as I mentioned, in opposition with Pluto, who is direct, this is forcing us to balance that which is out of balance, which is no longer in alignment, because with this Jupiter we are becoming very aware. We feel it in our being, we feel it in our body, we feel it in our experience, what we've outgrown. Like we have the memory of this is what it was, this is who I were, but it no longer resonates, it no longer feels right, it no longer feels like, okay, this is nurturing for me, right? Cancer nurturing. And with this moon obviously being on these final degrees, 28 degree, 28 adds up to number 10, and we had all these lunations on 28 degrees that will be a few more new moons yet to come on the 28 degrees, which is all about the 10, which is the reset, which is the year we're heading into, the 0 and the 1. So there are opportunities for these new beginnings, but how are we gonna get there? Well, first all these Makis coming out, being dug out. I know that Lilith is very active as well. She's also in Scorpio, 28 degrees, so she's very present for this lunation, Lilith. So we have a lot of stuff going on in this Scorpio energy, which is bringing out the things that we normally don't want to look at, things that are hiding in the shadow, that the unconscious becoming conscious. And because it's trine by this Jupiter, it's being amplified. Jupiter connected to the moon, being in his sign of exaltation, everything is very amplified. And then with this North Node, Saturn, Neptune, all in Pisces, everything that is not in alignment with what holds a meaning is being very present. It's kind of driving us insane. We can't escape it because it's everything. It's the water. We are made of water. 70%. This planet is 70% made of water, and we have all this water present. And as I mentioned many times, with the North Node in Pisces, it's a flooding. It's a flooding of everything that is unresolved from the past, right? And with Neptune now back in his rulership on this 29-29, which is the 11-11. It is intense, and we still have this Chiron square to Jupiter active as well, which is the first quarter square. This is the crisis in action, what needs to happen, what needs to take place. And also, as I mentioned, Mars is coming into that exact square with the lunar nodes already active during this lunation, and the resolution node now is the south node. So we had all this square to the lunar nodes when the planets were in Gemini throughout the Gemini season, and the resolution was the north node in Pisces. So what are we releasing, you know? But now everything is pointing to Virgo, and now Mercury obviously being retrograde during the time of the new moon in Scorpio. Mercury is back in Scorpio. At the time of me recording is still in the sign of Sagittarius. So yeah, Mercury is the ruler of the south node, and then being back in Scorpio, we are becoming very conscious, even though it is a new moon, which is all about seeding of what's yet to come for the 2026 year, being on the 28 degree, right, number 10. But yeah, with the square to the lunar nodes and the resolution now becoming the south node, this is about practical application. So it's no longer just about like, oh, okay, let us remember, and okay, yeah, this is not working, But now like, okay, yes, we've had all this, like, especially since Gemini season, almost 6 months. And now what are we doing with it? What are we going to do about it? Because Virgo is about embodiment. It's about, okay, how am I going to put into practice everything I've learned, or those before me learn, and I no longer can say that I don't know, that I'm aware, because it's been experienced, it's already happened. So yeah, so just looking at this chart in itself, I mean, there are a lot of supporting aspects, and we also have the, like I said, there is the kite in action, and also there is the like a mystic rectangle formed as well. So there are a lot of positive aspects, but there are those still two oppositions. The one between Pluto and Jupiter, which, as I mentioned, is about trying to find a balance between the future version of ourselves and this version of ourselves that we remember, that we have a memory of the Cancer, that this is who I am. And then the Uranus in opposition with the lunation, with the new moon, and Uranus being on this anaretic degrees of Taurus, 29 degrees 29 minutes. Yeah, the Taurus transit, which has been ongoing since 2018, brought a lot to the surface, a lot that we became aware of, especially with regards to the world we're living in, right? Taurus, the earth, the resources, the ability to take care of oneself, you know, like, am I being resourceful? Am I having, do I have the resources that I need? So the people are becoming very conscious of what's important to them, what really matters. Also, there is a lot of crunch people are experiencing because of the lack of resources, or how the resources are distributed in this world. And also that's by design, so a lot of people are becoming aware of that. Like, it's kind of like chasing tail, right? The more you try to get on the top of it, you know, it's like endless game, right? So yeah, so we are becoming very conscious about these things, and also starting to realize that you cannot win the game that you not created. You know, like, this game has been ongoing for such a long time, and is run by a few, and everybody else, it's like it's not a game people can win. So how can you what can you do? Like, it's about actually stop participating in a game, and create your own alternative game, which you creating, where you decide what are the rules of my game, what is the game that I want to play. I don't want to play this game no more. I don't want to give an energy to it. You know, this is not a game I can win. I don't know the rules, and the people who know the rules, even they not playing by the rules. They cheating. So that's what I mean. So this is, I mean, Scorpio season, right? Scorpio season is all about disclosures, things coming up to the surface, right, from the depth of the psyche, from the underbelly, where they've been hiding all this time. And now with the trine to the north node, everything is being revealed. A lot of things are being revealed, and even if you don't know for sure, but you feel in your being, because of this Jupiter in Cancer, right? Our intuition is becoming very heightened. We are learning to trust ourselves. We are learning to trust the unseen. Like, find your own language. We are learning to find our own language, and this has been ongoing since Mercury had that reset, like the first retrograde, which was, technically it was second, because we entered into the year with Mercury retrograde. But when we went from the Mercury in Aries to Pisces back to Aries, right, the triple conjunction to North Node and Neptune and all the rest of it, in springtime, that was the reset, especially because of the nodes had moved in January 11th this year, and ever since Mercury is the ruler of the south node, but also was at the time connected to the north node, because Jupiter was still in Gemini, and that was the case also for the full moon in Scorpio we had in May. The Jupiter was still in the sign of Gemini, so that was about the timelines, right? We were learning, and now we are learning to feel into them. It's all a process. It's about becoming attuned and aligned with the timelines that we want to experience. So again, trying to play the same game that we've been playing all this time without actually knowing the rules and having the tools to win it, it's fruitless, right? Like it's been going on for such a long time, so many lifetimes, so many centuries, and it is not a winnable game, not for many, not for the majority. So that's why the game has to end. It has to be replaced by different ways of being, by the alternatives, and that's what we are all learning by becoming aware, right? Becoming aware, becoming awake from this long sleep we've been all in, and becoming aware. And there is a lot of anger because the realization of how we've been played for a fool. So it's become about becoming a conscious fool, starting your own journey of your own creation, where you don't know where you're going, even you don't really know the rules, but you're no longer willing to play somebody else's game, being played for a fool, right? So with these oppositions, we are learning to see, but you don't necessarily see with your eyes. Because with the Scorpio, it is all about intuition. Jupiter in Cancer, all about intuition. Saturn, Neptune back in Pisces. We are transcending the Piscean age. Saturn and Neptune are both moving January, February next year. And Neptune is moving in January, right? That was like January 24th or something. Let me see. January 26th. 26th of January, Neptune is moving back into Aries. So all in all, I don't really know what else to say about this lunation. I mean, there is a lot happening. You can look at each of these aspects individually, but the energy is definitely pointing towards learning to trust your own inner guidance, learning to trust the flow of your intuition. And with the Mars being now in Sagittarius, ruled by this Jupiter, right, 11 degrees, the Aquarian degrees of the Sagittarius, like the Aries. So it's about, because it is a new moon after all, it is about inception of this new game, this new story, which you are the creator of, and you're going to be learning your own rules, learning how to play it, and how to learn to manifest the things that you wish to experience, right? Especially as Uranus will be moving back into the sign of Gemini at the end of April next year. So that will be the acceleration of these timelines. But first, everything that is not in alignment with that is coming up, and that's something that's been very present in my experience, that everything that is not in alignment with these timelines, with this new version of myself, with this new way of being that I wish to experience, because the old one doesn't feel good no more. Everything that is a blockage or limited belief system that creates the resistance to change it's all becoming conscious, it's all becoming present in everyday realities, like kind of like just how hard does it have to get for me, you, any of us, to decide like I'm not doing this anymore. There has to be a different way, and a different choice has to be made. And then each time we catch ourselves, each time we become conscious of the unconscious patterns, and slowly the pattern starts to change. So that's what I feel this moon is encouraging, especially as it's opposed by this Uranus. Uranus is all about changing pattern. Don't do what you've always done, because you're just going to find yourself in the same place, experiencing the same reality. All right, let's see what the cards have to say with regards to this new moon in Scorpio on November 20th, which again 2 and 2, right? It's another foundation, another number 4. So let's see. Okay, what is the energy of this new moon? All right, one jumped out. Action, number 15, which we know is the devil card in the tarot. But this one, look, she's posed to dance. You know, what action has to be taken? The action of joy, freeing ourselves from the old way of being, which was about the kandu, right? You know, the devil, you know, this is the way it's been always done, right? That's why Jupiter now being retrograde, it's making us to reevaluate all of these labels, like, oh, this is who I always been, this is what I've always done. Well, is it really, you know? Does it really feel like you know? Does it really feel authentic to you? Does it really feel good anymore? So yeah, action, taking an action. And this is a waxing gibbous. Waxing gibbous, that is the Leo one, right? Creation. What are we creating? Number 15 comes to number 6, which is the balance, harmony of balance. Taking action on the things that we feel trapped by, to change them. Look, the open heart. And then at the bottom is a creation, 39, which is number 3, which is also about collaboration, co-creation, right? There is a bigger plan unfolding, Beaver Moon. Is there like a script, like architect creation? What do you want to create? Take action on your creation. I mean, it is a new moon, which is about seeding, which is about inception. What am I intending for the upcoming cycle, right, of the Scorpio, from this Scorpio new moon until the next one? It's yet to be created by you, the 39, 3, 9, and 6, right? 3, 6, 9, the universe will help you. For you, it's just to decide what it is that you want, how do you want to feel, who do you want to become. Yeah, it's yet to be created, because we are resetting the old cycles. The past is being released. It has to be embodied. It has to be felt, right, through the emotion, so it can be experienced, and a new choice can be made. So we cannot change the pattern without the pattern showing itself again. It has to be embodied. It has to be felt, and then we can do something to change the outcome. We can create a different outcome by dealing with that situation, with the emotion, with the circumstance differently. So this is how we are transmuting the past. It has to be experienced and embodied to a certain extent. The memory has to become alive through the emotion. So what else do we want to create? All right, the Queen of the Sun. Now, what does the Sun wants to advise with regards to this moon? Okay, we have 2 cards that jump out. Will and fertility. There is a 7 and an 18, which is number 9. This is kind of like this one, right? The action. Have the will to give birth to the things that you desire. The sunflowers, right? The sun. This is a very beautiful card. Flora, you know, like you are pregnant with possibilities of what you want to create. It's the same cards. Take an action of what you want to create. Like how they say, right? You take a step towards the universe will take 10 steps towards you. It's like this. There is so much energy that wants to be manifest, ready to be manifest, ready to be born. Have the will to bring it into being. It's number 7. 7 is a deeply spiritual number, right? 7 is connected to Neptune. Yeah, the source, the creator and the creation. Have the will. The will is stronger than you think. The will to create, to birth that which you desire. And at the bottom is focus, of course. Doesn't happen without it, and it's the number 4. And look, the light is in her crown. Yeah, and there is a lot of fog. Very spiritual card. The focus, the visioning. The light is burning in the crown. And here she's got the light shining to her head, the crown. This one, closed eyes, the focus, the will it into being. All right, let me make space for the next one. And there was illumination after that one. That's the Chariot. The Chariot card. Okay, let's do the portal one, the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. Let's see what portal is open up for us on the November 20th on the new moon in Scorpio. What portal is opening up for us? What support is being made available to us on this Scorpio new moon? Star being healing codes, important information, wounds are healed, recharging. Oh, look at that, there's the whole earth there. And at the bottom we have star gathering. This card came up many times before. Stars align, remembering home, soul's family. Yeah. Soul's family coming together in order to create new expressions, new constellations. So star being healing codes. Let's see about this one. I haven't seen. Yeah, the star gathering. Wow, they're actually together. All right. Star being healing codes. Important information, wounds are healed, recharging. There are many names for star beings, such as ETs. Okay, so this is all about the star beings from higher dimensions. Star being exist in multiple forms and come from many different universes, but this card is a gateway that transports us to one of their healing sanctuaries. It is a gateway that is open to many different star beings, and so it doesn't stipulate which cosmic rays is coming to us, but we will be receiving healing codes directly from cosmic guides. Yeah, there is the grand water trine. The healing can be emotional, physical, spiritual, however it comes. Know that it's a great blessing. If the world seems overwhelming or intense at this time, know that it's okay for you to retreat to a safe space to cleanse and recharge your energy. You may feel called to be a healer for others and share healing with the world, but please ensure you are balanced and filled up with light first. This is not the time for you to sacrifice your own well-being in order to serve others. Light beings are placing their hands upon you now, filling you with divine light that will wash away any blockages or stagnant energy standing in the way of your freedom and wholeness. Star beings are channeling healing codes and frequencies into your being, and it's important for you to stay alert for any intuitive guidance about your body so you can be restored to health once more. Yeah, being protected, being guided, and yeah, remembering home. That's the next one, the star gathering. I'm just gonna read the last message. The stars have aligned, you have found the lost pieces of yourself and your energy, and now is your time to shine. You are magnetic, attracting people, energies, and opportunities that will allow your dreams to unfold. This is a time of wishes fulfilled. All of your dedication, focus on dreaming has paid off, and now you can reap the rewards. It's important for you to know that this plane of existence is your rightful place, and not to spend too much time trying to transcend this reality, for you chose to be here at this time. Make the most of this powerful opportunity. If you are feeling particularly connected to a certain individuals at this time, it's because you are finding your star family beings you connected with before you entered the cycle of physical incarnation, and as long as you are connected to yourself, you are home. So it's again about putting your own oxygen mask first, and then you can be there for others. Okay, there is one deck that I like to use in a Scorpio season, is the Dark Mirror. So let's see what the dark aspect of humanity has in. Oh, there is perchance to dream was at the bottom. Okay, let's see. Okay, Dark Mirror. What is hiding in the unconscious? Artificial heart. Yeah, we know a lot about this one. Yeah, this is number 12, the illusion and delusion. You know, the call of the siren, of the artificial, the need for perfection, the desire to match the machine, to be perfect, the lack of compassion towards one another, because we know we are being told that we have to be perfect, just like the machine, right? To know everything, to always have the perfect plan, the strategy, and it makes us dehumanized. It makes us desensitized. So the number 12, like a hanged man. Like it's time to look at situations from multiple different angles, right? Nothing is really what it seems. Yeah. The artificial heart, and at the bottom, I won't cry it for you. Yeah. Number 22, which is the number 4. The structure. Okay, let's see about these two cards. Number 22. All right, so the first one, artificial heart. Moon phase, new stage, bargain. If I don't feel the warmth of the sun, will I become the sun or myself? Will I blame the sun or myself? Will I blame the sun? A female frigo, an android, or a robot? Will cyber lines traveling over the skin like gentle spiders, a black choker of feminine servitude, and jade eyes of futuristic indifference? Sentence. Building oneself to specifications, steeling oneself to adversity, dreaming of electric sheeps. Going dark. Once upon a time, it was a time of flying monkeys. Someone journeyed to a place that wasn't Kansas in order to gain a heart. Oh, such a charming old-fashioned fairy tale. A new heart can be bought on the internet now and be delivered in a couple of days with a brand new shiny instruction manual. It works too. It gets the job done. It's not a job of feelings. It's scripted like a job of numbers. Actually, it feels like a trade-off. We find refuge in the rational mind, which in turn gives us back the illusion of control. But we still feel, we still long to live through our emotions fully. We are truly like an artificial knight that wants to become a real person. Happiness is not in numbers. It's not because numbers are bad. It's because there is nothing that alone can grant happiness and guarantee it. We trade in the natural world for artificiality and then blame this choice as the reason why our sky has no color. What if it's not actually connected? What if it's just an excuse? What if even an artificial heart could beat and fall in love and drown in sorrow? It's all about the choices we make and the perception of those choices, right? All right. Let's see this 22. Yeah, I know this card came before. I won't cry for you. Third quarter square, acceptance stage. Sometimes when it's over, closure must be created, not just found. Visual seed. With her back to the light of the moon, a beautiful woman with deep blue eyes sheds dry tears of blood. She holds in her hand a drop-shaped vial full of blood as well, as she gestures forward as if offering it. Sentence. I gave you my last gift. I shed my last tear for you. It's time not to let you free, but to let myself free. Going dark. Breaking up can only be done by two persons. One will do it earlier, maybe, but sooner or later the other will follow. One can afford to do it with words or actions. The other probably will only be able to do inside her own heart. It's painful, it's definite, it's hard. It's sometimes necessary. Breaking up is not just letting go of a person. You are letting go of part of yourself, of hopes and dreams and trust. You let go of feelings and memories. You let go of emptiness you felt and the connection you relied on to. Anger will help at the beginning, but the last part of the road can't be done by just anger. Closure comes when you dry up your tears. It's a gorgeous moment when you allow yourself to frankly don't give a damn about it. All that was past is not a credit or a debt. It's just suddenly no more than a gift. You can raise your chin. After all, tomorrow is another day. To me, this is all about where humanity is. There are all these new potentialities, new promises, new ways of being, new ways of experiencing reality, right? A lot of that is through technology, through AI, but a lot of it is void of meaning, void of feelings. It dehumanizes people. The connection between people is becoming more like a machine, right? There is no patience, there is no compassion, not everywhere, but that's kind of like what is being normalized to be that way. And then there is the other card, which to me is telling about freeing yourself from all these labels and the old ways of being as a humanity, not just individual. Like, yes, as I already mentioned myself, you know, that there are so many memories attached to these labels, to these old versions of ourselves, to this old way of being. And it is not easy. It is not easy to move from one role to another, to experience life as someone different. When your status change, when your job role change, anything, like it requires a change, and change is not always easy. Even if it's desired, it is not always easy. So it is about the continuing movement forward. Like if you're not happy where you're at, if you're not happy with the life you have, the life you're experiencing, and when we take it to the micro, humanity is not happy as a species anymore where we are. That which we are experiencing now has timed out. It's expiring, right? This which we are living now, this world, once it was the dream, it was the desire, and then it became manifest. And now there is a new desire, there is a different desire for something different, to experience reality differently. But there's so many memories, there are so many emotions tied up to this way of being, to this way of experiencing life. And there is the transitionary process of unbecoming, so we can be emptying ourselves out to become like a blank sheet of paper, ready for this year 10, the 0 and the 1, to start a new cycle. The new cycle of being nothing, nowhere, start from nothing, and to become a completely new version of yourself, experiencing life differently. Because the old no longer holds a meaning, is no longer nurturing, is no longer supporting, just like that sextile between Uranus and Neptune is the foundational sextile, which is all about creating new foundation, which comes from within. So what we're really working on at this time mostly is releasing the attachment to who we were as a humanity, and going through the process of grieving. And there are options how this can play out, and everybody will experience the manifestation of their choice. That's why these new energies, these Arian and Gemini energies with the Uranus in Gemini, until recently, they were offering flavors, tasters of what can be chosen, what can we choose from. And now we are like recalibrating. We are now like, we got like the flavor, but now, you know, when you, like, for example, for me, experiencing my shamanistic journey last weekend and now going back to reality, it's like you've been upgraded, you became a different version of yourself. Like, you are not the same person anymore, but you have to go back to the same life, to the same reality. And it's such a jarring gap. The gap is so jarring because, like, you already outgrown that version of yourself, you outgrown that life, and there is already an aspect of you that has the new blueprint, the codes, but you have to wait for the physical manifestation to catch up. And that is the hardest part, you know, when inside you feel different and you already had got the taste of the different, you know, just like the Saturn, Neptune in Aries, the different, you know, the different reality, the different structure where you are the creator, the new meaning, the new vision, the new story, right? But now they're back in Pisces. So you still have to go through the muck of the after effects of the old choices, of the old visions, of the old fairy tales, of the old desires that are now in manifested form, until the form can dissolve. Like, first the form has to be released into nothingness, and then that energy can become a new form. So first the form has to be destruct, it has to be released, it has to lose a form to become just a pure energy, to then become a new form. So that's what I feel these two cards are about. All right, let's pull Major Arcana to cap this with. Major Arcana for the New Moon in Scorpio on November 20th, 2025. Okay, we have a Magician. Magician, our rep for the year number 10, number 1, starting from the beginning, having all the tools available, right? This is like an infinity, right? It's never ending. The creation and recreation and co-creation, it's endless. That's life. The continuous reincarnation, coming again, starting again. The tools are there. What you're gonna create this one is like when you get the Lego, right? What you're gonna build this one this time. It's like that. Okay, so this Scorpio is giving us the seedlings, the blueprints, the light codes for whatever it is that you want to create. Because with the anaretic 2929 Uranus back in Taurus retrograde, you have everything to your disposal to create from where you are. And at the bottom we have death. Honors to the Scorpio season, right? The Scorpionic card. Because we are going through a death and rebirth. The only standing is the child, the innocence of the child, right? The opposition to Aquarius, the Leo, the child. And then the Temperance, balancing, the number 14. This is a Sagittarius card, right? The Sagittarius season, the final mutable season of this year. As I mentioned, the final square to the Pisces before we end this astrological year, the crisis in consciousness. What are we releasing? Balancing with Jupiter now retrograde in Cancer, the old versions of ourselves with the new potentials, the opposition to Pluto, so we can create by letting the old die, to be released as an energy, so something new can be created. And yeah, the Judgment underneath, the Judgment, answering the call of destiny, the call of your soul, the number 20, the number 2, in partnership with your higher self. And one more, the Devil, releasing ourselves from the contracts to become your own creator. Yeah. So we have the Magician, the Death, the Temperance. So all of this is preparing us for the Sagittarius season, in which the mutable energy will allow for more flow, the fire, right? A new expression can be created. And we have the opportunity to break free from the contracts which kept us entrapped, no longer working. So you can become your creator, answer the call of destiny. You didn't come here to suffer, not in this lifetime. You came here to create a new expression for yourself and for humanity. Right, I think that's complete. So, as I mentioned, a little bit of a crazy video. Not quite the astrology, not quite everything. It just is without labels, the new expression, whatever that is forming to become. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I will be running, I think I mentioned, like my just like completely disconnected from this reality at the moment. So yeah, from the 22nd of November, I'll be running my Black Friday sale. Oh yeah, I got distracted because I was saying about the 11/11 video. Okay, so yeah, so from the 22nd of November, I'll be running my Black Friday sale until 1st of December, which I believe is a Cyber Monday. So that will be published on my social media. It will come into effect on the 22nd of November. So if you would like to book a reading with me at the reduced price, you will be able to between 22nd of November and 1st of December. All my readings will be discounted, and for more information, just log into my website, moonlightsoul369.com. You can also schedule an appointment. I did not put any appointment for November because of the current situation. You can email me if you wish to have one now, because I prefer to offer what I can, rather than put it all out there and then I won't be able to deliver. And then I put the availability from December onwards, because by then we'll be staying somewhere else. So yeah, but if you would like to book an appointment prior to December 7th, then just email me directly and we can fit something in. So with that, I wish you all a wonderful final week of the Scorpio season. Well, final week of November, not just yet, but coming up. And yeah, happy new moon in Scorpio to everyone. And I'll speak to you again in the next video. Hopefully the one for the 11/11, which is the 22nd of 11. So much love, everyone, and have a great week. Bye for now.